This is even worse. Like, this sentence makes no sense.
ChatGPT has a language problem.
It is a bit quirky how it gives you the answers in Irish.
The responses you get from ChatGPT really vary on what language you use.
It says sure. خليني أجاوبك طبعا خليني أجاوبك بلهجة سورية. Okay, it's not bad.
And for some languages, you can't really use it at all.
I wouldn't recommend anyone using ChatGPT to do anything useful because it doesn't at this moment for these languages.
ChatGPT works very well in English, but when I tried using it in Serbian, I found it was coming up with some strange answers.
So when I ask it about European countries, it's told me that Germany is Germania when it should be Nemachka. And for France, it's told me that in Paris there is the New York Opera, which is not right.
So to find out how well it works in a range of different languages, I gathered some of my multilingual colleagues. The answers ranged from the good.
Overall, it's good. It's it's a lot better than I thought, I have to say.
To the middling.
I think I was trying to say native tongue here, but Changa Kyangalta in my mind is tongue-tied. So I think it's got a bit tongue-tied and it's confused itself there.
Sometimes it would, maybe not quite use the right word or use a highly technical word, but generally you could understand what it was trying to say and it was responding to the question that it had been asked.
To the bad.
I'm surprised by the level of confusion and the fact that it's like a chaotic response. I thought it will at least give me, it may not be perfect answers, but I thought it'll be coherent answers.
When given simple prompts like list sport or countries, ChatGPT managed well in the languages we tested. But when pushed a bit further, it started to struggle.
So I was wondering if you could ask it to explain how large language models work, like you're 5 years old.
In response to this, sometimes ChatGPT seemed to misunderstand the question.
It's quite long and overcomplicated, I would say, for a 5-year-old explanation. So I think it just maybe didn't get it.
It explains how you would communicate how large language models work to a 5-year-old. It didn't quite explain it. It just told you how to explain it.
And sometimes it didn't give a coherent response.
The first line of the response, I'm translating it. You are 5 years old, so I will try and explain this. The language model will try and explain problems to you.
Interesting.
That's basically what it's saying.
ChatGPT works well in English as so much of the internet and the data available to ChatGPT is in English. Also, many English speakers have fed back to ChatGPT to improve its language abilities. But for other languages, where there is less content available for training and there are fewer people giving feedback, the performance drops. And that means for some languages, it's really not usable at all.
I have the response in front of my screen and it's just nonsensical.
Asmelash Tekahagdu is an AI researcher who works on African languages. He tried out ChatGPT in his native language, Tigrinya.
It's just generating nonsense. So I wouldn't recommend anyone using ChatGPT to do anything useful because it doesn't at this moment for these languages.
Chatbots like ChatGPT's language deficits are a known problem for researchers, and they are looking for solutions. OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, has also been making an effort to increase its language abilities. And for African languages, Asmelash thinks there's a lot of resources out there that could be tapped into.
There's a lot of content in audio form, for example, that is not tapped. That's untapped potential for these languages. Many languages in Africa, for example, instead of like in writing, much of like the stories or whatever the web has over the past couple of decades is locked in audio format. And if that could be repurposed, I believe we should have enough content that we should be able to create reasonable models.
While this is just a small test of ChatGPT's abilities, it does highlight the inequalities that are currently baked into what many consider to be a vital tool for the future. As for speakers of some languages, they're really locked out from using these chatbots.
Okay, so I'm just literally translating it because I cannot translate what it means because it means nothing. It's saying economy, always, people and employers, right, telephone, functioning, thoughts, it's coming. Do you see what I'm saying? This is basically what the it is all Tamil words, but it makes no head or tail. It's saying random things basically.